Rin had always liked quiet places. That was one reason he enjoyed working inside the service tunnels of the great alien station. The tunnels were warm, filled with soft lights and full of machines that did exactly what he told them to do. Machines never shouted at him, never demanded attention, and never judged him for being a simple human technician among hundreds of alien specialists. They only needed patience, tools, and gentle hands. That day, he was fixing the large transmitter that controlled communication between several levels of the station. It was an old system, full of wires from 3 different species and panels that had been replaced more times than anyone could remember. Rin crouched beside the open casing with small tools spread around him. His hands moved slowly, checking each wire, each connection, each loose part that might cause another breakdown. He did not know that something unusual was happening above him. The station was preparing for a royal visit. Diplomats hurried through the halls, cleaning small things no one usually cared about. Alien guards checked every corner with sharp eyes. Everyone spoke and whispered excitement because the visitor was someone great, someone powerful, someone whose presence could change everything. It was Queen Era Ladat, Rin, had heard the name before. She was a ruler respected by many species. Her people were known for their calm minds, long lives, and wise decisions. They lived by a strange tradition. They valued skill over status, courage over rank, and honesty over power. Rin never imagined he would see the queen. She belonged to a world far above his quiet life of wires and screws. While he worked, a deep hum shook the transmitter. Rin sighed softly. He knew that hum. It meant the system was close to failing again. He leaned forward, pressing a hand on the side panel. "Don't die now," he whispered, even though machines could not respond. He tightened a connector and adjusted a glowing blue line. The hum softened. Good. At least it was cooperating today. He heard footsteps behind him. Loud ones. Many of them. Rin assumed it was another inspection team checking the area before the queen arrived. He did not turn around. He kept working. The transmitter was more important than greetings. If it failed during her visit, the entire station could lose communication for hours. No one wanted that. More footsteps echoed. Softer this time. Slower. Almost graceful. Rin kept adjusting a delicate panel. He did not see the group entering the room. He did not know that the queen herself had walked in, followed by royal advisors, translators, and tall guards with shimmering armor. Queen Arala looked around the room with quiet interest. Her eyes, bright and calm, stopped when she saw a human kneeling beside the open transmitter. Rin's clothes were simple, his boots dusty, his hands steady as he worked. While everyone else in the room seemed nervous and stiff, the small human was completely focused on his task. She watched him for a long moment. Rin heard a soft noise from the machine and leaned closer. A spark popped against his finger. He shook his hand gently and smiled as the blue lights inside the transmitter brightened. At least that part was fixed. He moved to the next section. One of the queen's advisors whispered, "My queen, perhaps we should move. The technician is busy. We do not wish to interrupt him." Queen Arala did not move. She kept watching Rin with curiosity. She had seen many engineers, soldiers, leaders, and scholars. But something about this human felt different. His calmness, his care for the machine, and the gentle way he fixed each part caught her attention in a way she could not explain. Another guard stepped forward. "Human technician?" he announced loudly. "Stand. The queen is here." Rin blinked and finally turned around. His eyes widened when he saw the tall figure of the queen standing only a short distance away. Her presence was strong but peaceful, like warm sunlight. Her robes shimmered with soft colors, and her long hair fell in smooth waves behind her shoulders. She was beautiful in a way that was not human, but still easy to admire. Rin stood quickly. I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't know you were here." I was just the transmitter behind him suddenly made a loud cracking sound. Rin spun around and tried to hold the side panel in place, but it slipped from his hands. A wave of blue sparks burst out, and the entire system shut down. The room went completely silent. The station lights flickered once, then twice. Then everything shut off, even the air. Purifiers paused for a moment before restarting in emergency mode. Everyone froze. The advisor gasped. The central communication grid has collapsed. A guard shouted, "How did this happen during the Queen's visit?" Rin's heart raced. He knew the transmitter was old, but he had not expected it to collapse this badly. He stepped backward, picking up his tools with shaking hands. "I can fix it," he said quickly, "but I need a moment." The Queen raised her hand quietly, and everyone stopped speaking. She turned to Rin with calm eyes. "Then fix it," she said. Rin nodded. His hand steadied. He opened the panel again, this time working faster but still careful. The Queen stood behind him, silent, watching him as he worked inside the machine that now held the entire station hostage. ERI, connected to broken wires. The lights in the machine flickered. He adjusted a small energy core. The machine hummed weakly. He reached deeper to tighten a nearly invisible screw. The room suddenly glowed as the systems restarted. Bright blue lights spread through the walls. Communication signals returned. The station breathed again. Everyone exhaled with relief. Rin let out a small breath. "There," he said softly. "It's stable again, but it'll need another repair soon." Queen Arala stepped closer. Her eyes stayed on Rin. "You did well?" Rin blinked, surprised. Royal figures did not usually praise technicians. Before he could respond, a small drone floated near the Queen. It had been recording the inspection, storing voices and observations. When the Queen leaned slightly toward her advisors, she spoke in a low voice meant only for them. "That human," she said softly, "that is my chosen partner. That is my husband." The drone Lichitiv. And the Queen's quiet words echoed through the entire room. "That's my husband." Every guard and advisor froze. Eyes widened. Someone dropped a tablet. Another guard stepped back in shock. A few advisors stared at the Queen. Confused and pale, Rin felt the words hit him. Like a physical force, he dropped his tool. The sound rang through the silent room. He looked up slowly, wondering if he heard wrong. He stared at the Queen. She stared calmly back at him, realizing too late that her private words had been broadcasted. Rin's mouth opened. I think the drone made a mistake." No one moved. No one breathed. Then the Queen spoke. Her voice was calm and steady. The drone made no mistake, or silence. Even the air seemed to pause. Rin's heart beat loudly in his ears. He could not believe what he heard. A Queen Anne? Actual Queen calling a human technician her husband? That made no sense. He had never even seen her before today. A few advisors hurried to her side. One whispered, "My Queen, this must be a misunderstanding. You cannot claim a human technician, especially during a public visit. Perhaps you meant something else." The Queen did not look away from Rin. "I meant exactly what I said." Rin felt the world tilting. He took a step back. But I'm just a technician," he said softly. "I fix machines. I don't belong beside someone like you." The Queen tilted her head slightly as if studying him. "I do not choose partners by rank. I choose them by instinct, by heart, by the truth I see in them. And I saw something in you." Rin swallowed hard. He had no idea what she meant. He felt lost, confused, and overwhelmed. He wished the room would stop staring at him. One guard whispered to another, "Did the Queen really claim a human?" Another whispered back, "Maybe humans have strange luck." The Queen took a single step closer to Rin. Her expression was not forceful or demanding. It was gentle. "You worked with calm mind and steady hands," she said. "Even when danger appeared, you stayed focused. I saw honesty in you. I saw kindness." "These are rare." Rin struggled to find words, but "You don't even know me." "Not yet," she replied softly. "But I wish to." Rin felt heat rising in his face. He had never been the center of so much attention. And now, a queen was speaking to him in a tone that felt too sincere, too real, too unexpected. The advisors looked at each other, unsure whether to object or accept the Queen's choice. The guard stood silent, waiting for orders. The entire room seemed stuck between shock and disbelief. Aaron slowly picked up his tool again, mostly because it gave his hands something to do. "I really don't understand what's happening," he said quietly. Queen Arala gave a soft smile. "You will in time." Rin felt his heart skip. No queen had ever smiled at him before. The silence stretched. The entire room watched them, and as the moment held, Rin understood only one thing. His life, simple and quiet until today, was about to change in ways he could not imagine. Rin did not sleep the night after the Queen's declaration. He lay on his small bed inside his technician quarters, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of everything. His room was quiet, filled with the soft hum of the station. But his mind felt louder than ever. A queen had looked at him, a simple human technician, and said he was her chosen partner. She had said it with calm confidence, as if it was something natural. But to Rin, it felt impossible. Why him? Why someone ordinary, someone who spent his days fixing old machines? He turned on his side, trying to calm his thoughts. He needed rest. He had another long day of repairs ahead of him. But his thoughts kept returning to the moment her eyes met his, how everything around them had gone silent. When morning came, the station felt different. People whispered more. Guards stood at corners, watching him with unreadable expressions. Some aliens bowed when he walked by, unsure how to act. Others stared in confusion. Trying to understand what a human technician had done to gain the Queen's attention, Rin wished he could hide inside the service tunnels again. But the Queen had requested to meet him in the upper hall, so he had no choice. He walked there slowly, feeling the new weight of every step. When he entered the tall hall, Queen Arala was already waiting. Her robe flowed behind her like gentle waves, and her guards stood far away, giving her privacy. She turned when she heard his footsteps. "You arrived," she said with a warm tone. Aaron bowed slightly. "You asked for me." "I did," she replied. "Walk with me." Rin hesitated, but eventually followed her down the hall. She walked with calm steps, her eyes focused forward. He walked beside her, hands tense by his sides. "I understand you are confused," she said. "Confused is a small word," Rin whispered. "Everyone thinks I did something great, but I didn't. I just fixed a transmitter." She looked at him gently. Not everyone would stay calm in such a moment. "You did?" Rin shook his head. "Still, I don't think it's enough to call me your husband," spoke the last word quietly, as if it was too heavy to say out loud. The Queen stopped walking and turned to face him. Her eyes were soft, not demanding. "My people do not choose partners because of position or power," she said. "We choose based on truth. And I saw truth in you, Rin." Rin looked down. He felt small and unsure, like a child stepping into a world too big for him. "I'm not special," he said. Queen Arala stepped closer. "Perhaps you do not see what others can see." Rin felt his heartbeat quicken. Her presence was warm, not overwhelming. She did not try to force anything on him. She simply stood there, waiting for him to understand. They continued walking until they reached a large viewing window that showed the stars outside. The light reflected on her hair and made her seem almost unreal. A loud alarm suddenly echoed through the station. A guard ran toward them. "My queen, another wave has hit the communication grid," he said breathlessly. Several systems shut down at once. The engineers cannot stabilize them. Rin felt a familiar tension. He knew this kind of problem. He had seen it before, but never on such a large scale. The Queen looked at him. "Can you help?" Rin nodded quickly. "Yes. I need access to the main grid room." "You will have it," she said. The guard led them through several halls. Rin hurried behind him, with the Queen following close. When they reached the grid room, Rin stopped, shocked by what he saw. Panels were dark. Wires sparked. Screens flickered with strange symbols. Several alien engineers stood helplessly, unsure where to begin. One engineer turned as Rin entered. "Human, this is beyond repair," he said. Aaron ignored the doubt. He walked straight to the main console and opened it. Sparks flew in his face, but he stayed calm. His hands moved with confidence, checking wires, adjusting coils, and separating damaged parts. "Bring me a stabilizer core," Rin called out. No one moved. Queen Arala stepped forward. "You heard him. Bring it." Guards rushed to get the core. Rin continued working, explaining what he needed without raising his voice. He guided the engineers, telling them which lines to unplug and which circuits to reset. Slowly, the grid hummed alive again. The engineers stared in disbelief. The Queen smiled faintly, but the crisis was not over. A second wave hit the station. The lights flickered, and a loud vibration shook the floor. Rin grabs the edge of the console to stay steady. "This one is stronger," Rin muttered. "If we don't balance it, the whole grid will collapse." The Queen stepped beside him. "Tell me what to do," Rin hesitated. She was a queen. Was it right to make her assist in repairs? But her eyes were serious. She wanted to help, not as a ruler, but as someone who trusted him. Rin pointed to a glowing panel. "Place your hand on this sensor. It will unlock the royal energy line." She placed her hand on the panel. The lights shifted, and a new power source opened, glowing brightly. Rin used it to reinforce the grid. Blue energy flowed through the wires, making the entire station brighten. He connected the stabilizer core, adjusted to circuits, and sealed the main line. The grid steadied. The vibration stopped. The lights turned. The station was safe. The engineers stared in quiet. One whispered, "He did it again." The human fixed everything. Another bowed slightly. "No wonder the Queen chose him." Rin wiped sweat from his forehead, breathing hard. He could not believe they had stopped another disaster. He turned to face Queen Arala. "You helped," he said. "I could not have done it without you." Her smile was soft. "Together, we make a strong team." The engineers bowed to both of them. The Queen nodded and stepped aside with Rin. They walked out of the grid room, while whispers followed behind them. Whispers of respect, surprise, and acceptance. When they reached a quiet corridor, Rin finally spoke. "Why do you trust me so much?" The Queen looked at him for a long moment. "Because I see the truth in your actions," she said softly. "You do not pretend to be more than you are. You do not seek power or attention. You simply help because it is right. That is rare." Rin felt a strange warmth inside his chest. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. "But I don't know anything about your world," Rin said. "I don't know how to act like someone important." "You do not need to act," she replied. "You only need to be yourself." The thought of being her partner still frightened him. But something inside him also felt honored, touched by her words. They reached another viewing window. She stopped and turned toward him. The soft light of distant stars fell between them. "Rin," she said gently, "I did not expect to choose anyone on this visit. But when I saw you working, I felt something I cannot explain. My people believe in instincts that guide the heart. And my heart chose you." Rin felt his breath catch. He had never imagined a queen strong, wise, respected would say such words to him. He looked away, nervous. "But I don't want you to feel forced because of what happened with the drone." She shook her head. "My words were my own. The drone only made them loud." He slowly looked back at her. "And if I don't feel ready?" Her expression softened. "Then we move slowly," she said. "No pressure. No demands. Only time." Her calm voice eased something inside him. "Can I think about it?" he asked quietly. "Yes," she said. "Take all the time you need." Rin looked at her again. She was not angry, not disappointed. She respected his pace. That made her seem even kinder, even more real. A message suddenly came from a guard nearby. "My queen, your people request an update on the situation?" Queen Arala nodded. "Tell them we will return shortly." The guard bowed and left. The queen turned back to Rin. "Walk with me one more time." They moved down the hall, side by side. The station felt calmer now. The alarms had stopped. The lights glowed gently. The people they passed bowed to the queen, and some to Rin as well. Rin still felt strange seeing that. He was not used to anyone bowing to him. He tried to ignore it, focusing on the queen beside him. After a while, she spoke again. "There is something I want to show you." She led him through a small door that opened into a peaceful garden chamber filled with glowing plants from her world. The air was warm and smelled slightly sweet. Rin's eyes widened. "It's beautiful," he said softly. "It reminds me of home," she replied. Rin walked slowly, touching one of the glowing leaves gently. "I didn't know the station had a place like this. Very few people see it," she said. "I wanted you to—" Rin felt the weight of her words. She trusted him. She wanted him to see a piece of her world, even here in space. They stopped near a small fountain that released soft blue mist. Rin looked at the water, unsure what to say. After a long moment, he finally spoke quietly. "Queen Arala, I don't know everything about your traditions. I don't know what being a partner means in your culture."
Ow.
She turned to him. "It means trust, support, respect. It means choosing someone who shares your spirit." Rin felt something shift inside his chest. The fear slowly faded. The confusion softened into something clearer. "And if I say yes, what happens next?" he asked softly. "We learn about each other," she replied. "We build something with time. Nothing rushed. Nothing forced." Rin nodded slowly. He looked at her again. She stood tall, yes, but not distant, not unreachable. She was someone who had chosen him not because of power or duty, but because she believed in him. He took a breath. "I still feel overwhelmed," he said. "But I don't want to run away from this." A small smile formed on her lips. "Then you accept my choice?" Rin hesitated. Then he nodded. "Yes," he whispered. "I accept." The queen's smile grew warmer, brighter. Not dramatic, not loud, just genuine.